So why are drugs called what they are, and why is it that the more things cost, the less pronounceable they get? So back in the day, it was a free-for-all, and drugs were named however you liked, often after what plant it was found in or the group that discovered it. However, pharmacy loves arbitrary rules, so we now have the Who Stem book, which gives structure to names with a stem in pink and a euphonic makes it sound nice bit. So how does this work? Well, stems can show where something comes from, so gentamicin and vancomycin look similar, but that I instead of a Y is important. Mycin is for things from Micromonospora species, whereas mycin is for things from Streptomyces species. So you can see that rapamycin is from a similar source to vancomycin and is actually from Streptomyces species found on Easter Island or Rapa Nui. But this is where the flaw is, because the name doesn't reflect its action. So another way to name things is by function. So sirolimus is the other name for rapamycin because it's an immunosuppressant. The other way is by structure, so tacrolimus with the L is an immunosuppressant derived from rapamycin, which goes back to the same problem as naming by origin, as though they sound similar, tacrolimus and sirolimus are in different classes. So how can you use this to look clever? Well, you could memorise the whole book so that you can spot that dalbavancin is structurally related to vancomycin, or you could look for patterns in the stems. So things with ant in are receptor antagonists, with extra things round it, like in a prepitant to give more detail. Meanwhile, things with stat in them are enzyme rather than receptor antagonists, again with extra twiddly bits. So why is expensive stuff unpronounceable? Well, it's too much pharmacy, structure, forcing unfriendly consonants together. So for monoclonal antibodies, there's one structure for all. MAB means it's a MAB, the bit before is where it's from, the bit before that what it targets, and the bit at the start just something to make it sound nice. So in abciximab, the Z means it's a chimeric product, and the C means it targets the circulatory system. Compare this to belimumab, where the U means it's human, and the lim that it's immunomodulatory, and this is reflected in their different uses. And if you think that MABs are bad, gene therapy brings you this abomination. But it's simpler if you know the structure. The first word describes the gene, and the second the delivery system. So gene is for gene therapy, the lim is, like in belimumab, showing it's immunomodulatory. Ta and la are just for effect. The herpa shows it's delivered in a herpes virus, the rep that it replicates, and the vec that it's a viral vector. And this is of no use at all other than helping with pronunciation. Telimagene la herpa repvec. Who said that pharmacy isn't cool?